Look, I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with coming in second. Second place is not good enough. I got into this to change lives, and that means building power and forming government. That's the path we're on. Step 1 is providing a real, effective alternative, fighting for results. Now, right away, we rolled up our sleeves and we got to work. In the face of the threat to our economy from Donald Trump's tariffs, one question that I kept hearing people ask was, why wasn't Ontario in a stronger position to begin with? We knew that we had to give our all to strengthen Ontario, to look after people, to get Ontario building, to grow our economy. So we convened an advisory council on tariff response and economic security, working with labor, working with business, working with industry experts. We established a working group on critical minerals and the Ring of Fire. We named a strong, laser-focused shadow cabinet, including our 3 wonderful new MPPs, Alexa Gilmore, Catherine McKenney, and Dr. Robin Lennox. And yes, I reached out to the Premier because we know we need a strong Team Canada, Team Ontario approach. Now, I'm still waiting to hear back from him, but that's kind of beside the point. And we got down to business. Our first Opposition Day motion was called Choose Ontario, Strengthen Ontario. It was a plan to give people the power to choose Ontario-made products and the right to know when big box grocery stores are gouging prices. We put forward another plan to build care and strengthen Ontario. Put simply, we must treat building hospitals like nation-building projects. Our wonderful caucus members who, by the way, represent every region of Ontario from the rich farmland of Temiskaming to the bustle of Bay Street, each and every single one of them put in the work. Saul Mamakwa brought the voices of his community, First Nations, to Queen's Park every single day to fight Bill 5. I'm going to go back to that in a minute. Dr. Robin Lennox pushed a province-wide drug coverage plan. Sandy Shaw brought Homes Ontario to another vote. France Gelina reintroduced her bill to limit spending on for-profit nursing agencies. Guy Bourgoin, John Vantoff, Lise Vaugeois, they all introduced legislation to make northern highways safer. While our deputy leader, Dolly Begum, pushed for transparency and results from Metrolinx. Catherine Fife pushed to get the government to investigate the harmful impacts of social media on children and youth. Teresa Armstrong called for a plan to strengthen people's pensions. Jenny Stevens called for an end to predatory paid parking practices. Chandra Pasma made sure that the voices of students, of parents, and educators were heard at Queen's Park. Jeff Birch, Jamie West, Terrence Kernahan, Kristen Wong-Tam, Lisa Gretzky, they show up every single day for their constituents and all Ontarians. The great Peter Tabbins, Wayne Gates, Jennifer French, Peggy Sattler, Jessica Bell, Chris Glover, Tom Rakocevic. Look, I know I'm a little biased here, but our caucus is the best you can get. Truly incredible. And look, I want to say this to our Labour friends, our union affiliates. Thank you for the work that you do to represent your members every single day. We've got to make it a priority to fight for working people because workers built this province. And I'm honored to be with you, whether we're on the picket line together or on the shop floor or here at Queen's Park. Now let's talk about Bill 5. Bill 5. Look, I'm going to get serious for a minute here because the Ford government never fails to surprise. But Bill 5 is really something. It's a bill that gives the government the power to override any law they want, anywhere, at any time. They say it's about cutting red tape, but let me be really clear. First Nations rights, treaty rights, not red tape. Labor laws, not red tape. Clean drinking water, the environment, not red tape. We used every tool we had to scrap that bill. We filibustered until midnight to delay it. We organized, you organized, we mobilized, launched petitions, email campaigns, which, by the way, over 100,000 emails were sent to the government through our online actions. Saul fought like hell, standing shoulder to shoulder with his community, with First Nations, with rights holders from all across the province.
NDP MPP Saul Mamako was kicked out for claiming the Premier has been telling First Nation communities, quote, untruths.
The government needs to understand you cannot trample on inherent rights. You cannot trample on First Nation rights. You cannot trample on those things and get away with it.
Now look, they passed it. Of course they don't care, but make no mistake. The fight is not over. The fight is just beginning. So now, this is about focus and hard work. We've got 4 years of another majority government, and we're going to stay at the top of our game as the official opposition. And to everyone in this room, we need you with us. Our movement is strong. Our movement is powerful. Together is how we build the future we know is possible in this province. Now, I'm so lucky to have this job, and I am honored to represent each and every single one of you. And my promise to you is this: we will never stop fighting. The Ontario NDP is on your side, always.